not a flattering thing. I get that.
It's a lie. It's a lie on a news network, and it's a lie that's a willing. That's a lie that they're conscious of. This is not a mistake.
Yeah.
They're unfavorably framing it as veterinary medicine.
Well, the FDA put this thing out. You saw that. Did you see that thing that the FDA put out?
What did the FDA put out?
It was a tweet, and it was snarky. I admit it. They said, "You are not a horse. You are not a cow. Stop taking this stuff," or something like that.
Why would you say that when you're talking about a drug that's been given out to billions and billions of people, a drug that was responsible for one of the inventors of it making
Nobel Prize.
winning the Nobel Prize in 2015?
Yeah.
Yeah, a drug that has been shown to stop viral replication in vitro. You know that, right? Why would they lie and say that's horse dewormer? I can afford people medicine, motherfucker. This is ridiculous. It's just a lie.
I don't think anyone is.
But don't you think that a lie like that is dangerous on a news network when you know that they know they're lying? You know that they know that I took medicine. Like, here it is. This is ivermectin.
You got
this
it
is
with
right
you.
Here. Somebody gave it to me.
All right, hang on. The thing is, we're like going so fast. Like I feel like I'm missing.
Do you think that's a problem that your news network lies?
Well, I don't.
Dude,
what did they say?
They lied and said I was taking horse dewormer. First of all, it was prescribed to me by a doctor.
Yeah.
Along
they
with
shouldn't have said
a
it was
bunch of other medications.
If you got a human pill, because there were people that were taking the veterinary medication, and you're not, obviously. You got it from a doctor.
Sounds hopeless, doesn't it?
It shouldn't be called that. Ivermectin can be a very effective medication for parasitic disease. And as you say, it's probably, I think, 250 million people have taken it around the world?
More,
I get that.
Way more.
So
way more. Billions of people have taken it.
Can I just come back to the one I want to talk about? Two things on the ledger.
You have, before we get to that, does it bother you that the news network you work for out and out lied, just outright lied about me taking horse dewormer?
They shouldn't have said that.
Why did they do that?
I don't know.
You didn't ask? You didn't think that was you're the medical guy over there.
I didn't ask. I should have asked before coming on your podcast.
But they did it with such glee.
No,
yes,
Joe.
They did. I watched.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did, Dr. Gupta. They absolutely did. Yes. It is their modus operandi, if you will, at CNN to just push the envelope to the left. It's just what they do. They were more than happy to make COVID-19 a political thing. And the reason Dr. Gupta, Sanjay Gupta, who at least I have to give him a little credit for having the guts to go on Joe Rogan, knowing that he was going to have to face the truth. Or maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't know that. Maybe he thought that he was just going there to promote his upcoming book, which a lot of people do on the Joe Rogan program. And maybe he thought that Joe was not going to remember. Like Joe wasn't going to remember that CNN literally said that he was taking horse medicine. Horse dewormer, if you will. And I'm glad he held his feet to the fire, even though Dr. Gupta was able to kind of wiggle out of the move, out of the hold, if you will. But not in a good way. He looked like an idiot. People can see that. People can see that. Now, if you are a super CNN follower, then you won't see that at all. Absolutely not. Because if you're still watching CNN for news, knowing that people that what was the guy that was caught whacking off? the lawyer that was caught whacking off. He's still working there. He was caught whacking off during a Zoom meeting, Zoom or Skype or something along that lines, and he thought he was off of the camera, and so he just started going at it, man. Just sand in the wood. They kept him. Don Lemon, who coincidentally, not coincidentally, it immediately was the guy that CNN wanted to save Sanjay Gupta with. So he went on CNN the following day with Don Lemon, Sanjay Gupta, Dr. Gupta, went on with Don Lemon, and Don Lemon, he literally said he's reading from a piece of paper where it says he says ivermectin is a horse dewormer. Even though Joe shows his prescription, which he didn't have to do, because Sanjay Gupta knows that ivermectin is indeed a crossover medicine that is used pretty much for the same reason that you use it for horses. It's there as human doses, and it's used for the same thing. It gets rid of parasites. And SARS-CoV-2, COVID-19, if you will, coronavirus, the COVID, is apparently vulnerable to ivermectin as a medicine. Now, I don't believe that Dr. Gupta means any harm, but he is on CNN. So the things he says and the things he has to back up are causing harm. Let's go back to him on Don Lemon. And when Don Lemon, again, after Gupta's total just being shellacked on Joe Rogan, I'll play another clip a little bit later about where Rogan is giving him the stats on children and why a lot of people don't want children getting the COVID-19 shot. But after the shellacking, when Don Lemon specifically reads, he stops everything he's doing to read that ivermectin is a horse dewormer. So basically what he's saying is that humans, what he's trying to sell is that humans shouldn't be taking ivermectin, even though there's a human form basically used for the same stinking thing, getting rid of parasites. All right. So Lemon, when he reads that ivermectin is a horse dewormer, it's kind of like, here's how he's trying to sell it. You gave your kid a dog treat to eat. I'll say that again. You gave your kid a dog treat to eat. Peanut butter. Dogs love peanut butter. There's peanut butter treats. They'll eat peanut butter off a spoon. It's fun to watch them eat peanut butter off the spoon. You make them a peanut butter sandwich. They'll eat peanut butter. So you put peanut butter on a cracker. Put peanut butter on it. Dogs love peanut butter. So it's a treat for dogs. Meanwhile, kids eat peanut butter. So for him to say that ivermectin is a horse, you took a horse medicine, it's just like saying you gave your kid a dog treat if you gave them peanut butter. Same stinking thing. That's the logic that CNN wanted to try to save Sanjay Gupta on. That's how they wanted to save him. Let me give you something on ivermectin. Ivermectin has been widely used to treat a variety of human parasites since its introduction in 1981. It's estimated that 4 billion doses have been taken over 40 years. Such was its impact that two scientists who discovered and developed ivermectin subsequently received the 2015 Nobel Prize. Such an effective medicine, Nobel Prize in physiology or medicine. Ivermectin is on the WHO's model list, on the WHO, the World Health Organization's model list of essential medicines. And that didn't come about because because it's given to horses. I said horses were taking it. Like a horse is walking into drug mart going, hey, I got a little, feeling a little squeamish. I feel like I got something in my stomach. So horses are being given ivermectin because ivermectin is so effective, it can help with horses. Dose is higher, but it's a people medicine. Sanjay Gupta knows that oh so well. And I really am glad that he did go on the Joe Rogan show because that needed to come out. And the common sense people, I hate to even say open-minded. Why would you have to be open-minded about this particular topic? You don't have to be open-minded. Well, I'll keep an open mind about it. No, it is it's a medicine for humans to get rid of parasites. So effective that it can work on a horse. Again, higher dose. For the horse, that is. A number of clinical trials with ivermectin have been running since early in the pandemic, and it has become clear that ivermectin has activity against SARS-CoV-2. I repeat, it has become clear that ivermectin has activity against SARS-CoV-2. I said that earlier. If you don't know what SARS-CoV-2 is yet, I'm going to have to ask you to get out from underneath the rock. COVID-19. That's what SARS-CoV-2 is. And if you don't know what COVID-19 is, then please turn your computer off and go take a little nap. And it's effective both as a prophylaxis and a treatment. A prophylaxis and a treatment of COVID-19. A rigorous meta-analysis of the 15 random controlled trials and observational controlled trials that have so far reported their results has been carried out by Lowry in the UK. The results show that ivermectin treatment reduces deaths by an average of 83%. Why are we fighting this thing? I mean, we know why. We know why. Because the whole selling point is this leaky shot that's out there. Again, it is helping. The shot. I hate having to go through these little caveats and you have to make sure that you're saying that the shot is working for most. But the shot also is a new medicine. It's a new treatment. So again, we're all guinea pigs. And we knew, and here's, let me turn off the road here a little bit. in 2000, 2020. Yeah, last year in December, actually in November, my wife was offered, she was directly offered the opportunity to be one of the test. This had to have been before November. You'll see why it had to been before November. So it was coming along. Yeah, we were talking about roughly in October, even before that. But in October, roughly in October, we were talking about it. Sorry, I really went outside the road. My wife was offered an amount of money, a monetary reward, if you will, if she wanted to be one of the test subjects for this shot. And we hemmed and hawed about it, and she actually considered it. And right about the time where she said, probably not so much, before she could get back to tell them that she was going to opt out, they got a hold of her. The clinic that was going to do the testing got a hold of her and said that they were not going to be doing testing. They were not going to use test subjects. This happened after the election. This happened after it started to lean towards that Biden was going to be taking over the White House, that there was going to be the new administration. From that moment, from that very moment, it was politicized. Now, Trump was the one that actually put all the funding. They directed all the funding, and got everything out of the way in order for these drug companies to come up with a vaccine, quote unquote, vaccine. But as soon as those drug companies saw that they were going to have an open buffet with the Democrat in office, notice how immediately they released that we will have a shot, a vaccine in December, by December. And everyone, it will be available to everyone. No testing was done. No testing was done. So the magic about that was that everyone becomes a guinea pig. Now, I do not blame anyone for rushing to the nearest needle and getting that shot. It was an awful 2020 with every news network turning their shows, their programs, their agendas, everything was COVID. You couldn't fart and it didn't sound like COVID in 2020. In fact, the only break that we had is when George Floyd was killed. And that was a whole nother argument. Because they told you, don't move from that corner of your house, ever. Put a plastic bag over your head. And don't talk to loved ones. Remember, they were saying things like, stay 6 feet apart. And then there was all kinds of studies. Oh, if you sneeze, it travels 15 feet. or when you're talking, the droplets it can linger up to 30 feet away. It was an endless just an endless barrage of if you wipe your counters, people buying toilet paper, fighting for toilet paper and Lysols and wipes, and nobody had masks and respirators. All of that was happening in 2020. So all of that ridiculousness, you cannot blame anyone. If you're watching that, of course, on your television set. If you cannot blame anyone, and in fact, I barely watched the news last year, barely, because I couldn't handle it. I know people want, you got to watch it for the updates. You got to know. No, you don't. No, you don't. So all of those things added up was definitely going to lead to someone running to the nearest needle. Please jab whatever that is into me. So you cannot blame anyone, nor if you got it and you feel that it is working for you, God bless you. I haven't, and I'm going to be honest, I haven't ruled it out. I'm not happy with it, nor if I can avoid it, I probably will. I'm not interested in finding out what is on the other side of that for me, and my son is not going to get it. Not with, he has his own medical issues, and he does already have a heart condition, and if myocarditis is indeed, well, I said if, but there has been, there is a connection between this shot and young men getting myocarditis and people getting blood clots from this particular thing. So my son's been through enough. He will not get this shot. Whatever we have to do, we'll do it. But he is not getting the shot. But the thing, again, has been politicized altogether. And here we have things like ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine in the early days, and people are still using hydroxychloroquine. There's countries all over, Peru, Japan, Guatemala. I think England is using the United States is using it, but ivermectin as a means, as one, as a prophylaxis, and two, as a not cure all, but I'll call it an expediter. It just kind of expedites. It kind of tears down the SARS-CoV-2, it expedites your recovery. So India's using ivermectin, and all to again 83%. 83%. It's helping. How is that not being taken seriously? There's one country. That, I was reading that somebody felt it's Wafflitz. Wafflitz from look. There's a scientist right now that believes that if we were just to turn to ivermectin right now, and these are studies. You can see these universities and these particular study groups. You can find them online. You can get all their information. In fact, I'll attach some connections, some routes to this video while it's posted in the comments. But the Wafflitz says that if they believe that if within 72 hours, or I should say in 6 weeks, that's what I'm getting at. It was 6 weeks. SARS-CoV-2 could be pretty much extinguished if a serious regimen of ivermectin was given pretty much worldwide. Again, I'll post that in the comments to clarify that, because I know I butchered that. But he does believe within 6 weeks, if it was a serious regimen of ivermectin was administered through the public, SARS-CoV-2 would be something we can look back on. CNN. That's got to be the video of the year. Sanjay Gupta just kind of choking on his own spit with Joe Rogan, justifiably so, calling his network CNN liars. The list is I mean, come on, it has the network has Brian Stelter, who is like an Easter egg, a butt-kissing Easter egg. You put him in front of you standing behind a leftist in any way, a Democrat particularly. You standing behind there, and he's going to get his fat boy makeup all over their ass. Brian Stelter, Chris Cuomo, who helped his idiot brother with legal advice, or I should say, not so much legal advice, but how do we sell me to the public kind of thing. This is during the pandemic. This is during the whole he's touching women inappropriately. Chris Cuomo is the epitome of douche. I don't see anyone else being a bigger douche than Chris Cuomo. He was never not a douche. He's a Cuomo. So, that being said, here I wanted to get to that other video. Let's see if I can pull that up for you guys. The other video. This is Joe Rogan, and he's talking about again, just kind of running over Sanjay Gupta. He's talking about kids using, or I should say, not having to take the COVID-19 shot. One, because we don't know exactly how it's going to affect them, and we're starting to find out. And there is some negative reactions to this thing, and from children. So why would you put your children through this when they don't need it? Because they are the ones that are safe from this thing.
It's a lie. It's a lie on a news network, and it's a lie that's a willing. That's a lie that they're conscious of. It's not.
Yeah, that was the first one I played for you. Let's pull this one up. The one I was talking about. Okay, Joe Rogan talking to Sanjay Gupta about how it's an unnecessary thing for children to have to take this thing, considering that they are such
even
low
with
risk.
A breakthrough infection, untreated, you're probably more vulnerable than the average child who is not vaccinated who gets COVID. Like people have died who are double vaccinated. In fact, there was a guy who just won an Emmy who's
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, the odds of that happening to a healthy child are very, very low.
Very low.
But that guy is probably your age. How old are you?
I'm 51.
Yeah, he's about your age. Theoretically, you would be more vulnerable than a young child would be. You vaccinated would be more vulnerable of a breakthrough infection than a young child would be, statistically speaking, right? But you're not worried about catching.
They're both rare.
But you're not worried about catching it. you're not worried about catching it because you've been vaccinated and you think it imparts a certain amount of protection. What I'm saying to you is I think that not worry is the same feeling that a lot of people have about their children. They're not worried about their healthy children catching it for the same reason you're not worried about catching it being vaccinated. That if treated correctly, they think that the child probably has a better chance even than you do because you're 51 years old.
I think...
Does that...
I mean, they're both...
That seems reasonable, right?
Well, I think it's... I know the story about this 53-year-old
But you see
guy.
what I'm saying? Like with your attitude that you're not worried about catching it because you've been vaccinated and you're a healthy guy. That is the exact same feeling that people have about vaccinating their children. If they have healthy children and they know that statistically speaking, there's so few children that have died from COVID.
Well, yeah, there are. It's like, I think 500 or so children
out of millions and millions and millions of kids
that probably have been exposed.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's, again, part of it is not defining this in terms of life and death. I think
but do you understand my point?
Well, are you suggesting I get boosted?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is your attitude about not being concerned because you have antibodies and you think you would get through it even if you had a breakthrough infection. That is the exact same attitude that a lot of young people have where they don't want to get a shot because they're worried about the consequences, even though they're incredibly small.
Consequences of the vaccine.
Incredibly small. But the VAERS report, they do have deaths.
Yeah. Thanks for joining me. Thanks to Joe Rogan. Thanks to Rumble for the Joe Rogan clips. Praises to Joe Rogan, particularly on this video and so much of what he's done during this COVID thing. And I like the fact that he's being honest with himself more and more each day. Before it was just, you can tell he was just kind of skating through, he would ask genuine questions of people and want genuine answers from people, but he's starting to see something that he wasn't seeing before, and there's probably no one more effective across the board, that is, than Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, very important, particularly for the millennial and below type crowds. They need these answers. From people that are just pretty much selling them out. A to Jet Noise, thanks for joining me. I don't think I introduced myself earlier in the video. So A to Jet Noise on rumble.com, facebook.com, youtube.com. Please hit me up, like, comment. You can bite my head off if you wish, because I don't have to be right. I really do not have to be right. I just have to start the conversation. But I think that if you enjoyed what Joe Rogan did there, then you are right. Then you are on the right side of this one. Again, A to Jet Noise. Please like, subscribe, hit me up. No money to subscribe. Just join me and let's get to the bottom of things together. Talk to you soon. Till then, big hug, be good, be still. Enjoy your life.